Hey, this your boy Mullah. This week at that five. We back with another one. You know, Juneteenth coming up soon, so I'm on my blackish thing right now. Cal Barker. They say he got fired from 11 single. 11 single. I guess he's just not coming out with this story. Let's find out together, people. Let's hear what really happened. Wow.
Show prematurely.
No, I got fired.
Wow.
I got fired.
Fired.
It wasn't that I got fired. It was the way it was done.
Now,
Somebody told you.
one thing about Kyle Barker, the character, again, I think he presented himself as a studious type gentleman, very smooth, very suave. And were you conscious of that representation?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like that boomerang
Absolutely.
character.
Kyle is a combination of a few friends of mine and my dad. Doctor, a friend of mine, a lawyer friend of mine, a social worker friend of mine, and my father. I pulled from all those people to create who he was. I thought it was very important for us to see a young black man that was successful in his business, that was very connected to his heritage and his culture, that treated women a certain way, and that treated his friends and his family a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that came off through that character.
Very much so.
Really did.
Very
Really
much so.
did.
What was going on in terms of was there
Overton.
any?
They had him like he
phrase
was
it this
slow.
way. We spoke to John Hinton.
Mm-hmm.
He spoke about that there were certain things they were trying to have you guys do.
Oh yeah. They wanted us to be Lenny and Squiggy.
Really? Okay.
Oh yeah. And at one point, I forgot what we were doing, but we both just looked at each other and said, we can't do this like this. And we basically went to them and said, look, we know what you're trying to do, but you cannot put two buffoonish men against four strong women.
Right.
Two buffoonish black men against four strong black women.
It's not gonna work.
You can't do that. You got to think about it differently.
So you got a one dummy, one smart one.
Yeah. It took them a while to kind of realize that you guys are.
Mm-hmm. And we in the beginning we were just following orders. We doing what they tell us to do.
Right.
But then we started looking at it and we were like,
this stuff is already going out.
Yeah.
Like so you're watching the show at home and just like.
Yeah. And the first couple episodes we were like,
got to switch something up.
And then that stuff started coming in once we realized we did have a voice, that we could say what we needed to say about it. Then, things started to change. One thing I do, I will never regret is speaking my mind about how I felt about what they were asking us to do.
Good job, Cal.
And I think a lot of that shaped who Kyle was.
Yeah. I think that, with you guys being kind of pioneers in terms of that era, the 90s, and what our representation was at that time, it definitely probably set a tone from the shows that we see now to let them know that, hey, because if anything, someone can always say like, hey, a brother like Kyle Barker can exist and he can be liked and he can be appreciated. So now I don't have to rely on the buffoonery that we've seen over the years.
Over
so
and over
at
and
least
over
I can say
again.
no, but
repeat.
It can be done this way.
Right.
And I think that's a credit to what you brought to that character on screen. One thing about Kyle Barker, he was definitely a ladies' man. So who were you pulling from in that? Was that dad in terms of the suaveness?
You don't want to snitch.
Was that you?
It's a little bit of me, a little bit of me, a little bit of my dad. Smitty was always cool. I mean, my dad was one of the coolest people around. He just had a way of walking. He had a way of talking. He never left the house without a hat on, which is why Kyle always had a hat on when he left the house. Mm-hmm. He never left the house without a hat on. He was always immaculately groomed. He always looked good. Always smelled good. So yeah, that was a lot of that was him, and I learned that just growing up. Like Miss Annie did not let you go out the house unless you were put together. Mm-hmm. So there was no wrinkling, there was no wrinkled shirts, no pants without creases, no unwashed face, no uncombed hair. Before you leave the house, you make sure you look presentable,
right?
No matter where you're going.
Yeah, it was definitely again the way the character carried himself was just like, it was just smooth. It was just smooth. Like it's nothing way around it.
Smooth operator.
And I also think it was a way to illustrate how to talk to women in a way that's respectful.
Right. And still
but
get
still
the attention.
Sensual. Still
pimping. Putting that pimp juice in.
Flirty.
Yeah.
But it's respectful. And I think we've lost so much of that right now.
What up, Dot?
So base.
Yeah.
Come
but it's
eat
kind of
this meat.
Like, do you think that character, in terms of today's energy, could exist now? Because everything's, like you said,
it's watered down.
Women tend to be okay with you being kind of,
bro, they on OnlyFans busting it open. What you want to say?
Kind of,
my queen? Hello, my queen.
Well, I've heard women talk about it, and they want it, but they don't ask for it. They accept what they get. Because if women said no, brothers would step up.
But they saying yes. They on OnlyFans, brother.
But when everybody's accepting what this is, then there's no really where to go.
OnlyFans.
Upon my research, which I thought was interesting, when we were preparing.
You've been doing a lot of research, haven't you?
Nah. But upon kind of research, I was surprised that, and I never thought about it, but you ultimately left the show prematurely.
No, I got fired.
Got fired, fool.
I got fired. We had a lot of, and I won't say a lot, but there were times when we had issues on the show. And we would come to them as a cast.
They said, I can't do this.
But I would be the spokesperson for it. And so that last season before I left, they called me in. And they basically said, well, all these problems that, we've been having, they listen to you. You're the person they listen to.
So we got to get rid of you.
Something else, then they would do that. And I kind of looked at them. I said, well, first of all, we're dealing with 5 grown people, and they have their own mindset and their own ideas about what we're doing. And everything we come to.
I got fired like that too, y'all. They told me I was rallying the people. Rallying the people because I'm like, what y'all doing ain't right, so I'm rallying the people. Anyways.
You with is a group decision, not my decision. But if you think I have that much power, then I need to have a different job.
Thank you.
I need to have a different job. And I don't think they like that.
Was the issue consistent? What we
No, there were a lot of different issues. Sometimes it was script, sometimes it was the way we were being treated. It was just various things that happened through the course of the seasons.
Yeah.
And when we had issues, we talked to them about it. I think part of it is even now, if you're African American, you shut your mouth and do the job.
Yeah.
Don't ask questions. Be happy that you got a job.
No, that's not me at all.
My whole time on living single, I was happy I had a job, but I understood the importance of the job I had. I understood the importance of what these characters meant to my community.
Right.
And so when I come to you with a problem, it's because of that, not because of ego. And they looked at it as ego. So that season I was at home watching the final, and I asked them, because they sent me off in the episode, they were sending me off to London. And I said, so you getting ready to fire me? I just need to know so I can line up my stuff and so I can be prepared.
Nah.
They're like, no,
why would we do that?
No, we wouldn't do that.
Nah.
Watching the episode goes off. Not 2 minutes later, my phone rings. And it's my lawyer telling me that they're not going to bring me back next year.
As they just said they weren't going to fire you.
And it wasn't that I got fired. It was the way it was done.
Right.
They lied.
And hearing you in terms of, I was trying to wrap it into a theme, what you might have been experiencing with the production. It just seemed like you guys were fighting for a level of respect.
In a lot of ways, yeah.
The quality, the script.
Artistically.
How you were being treated on set. It just seemed like, hey, we know that we should be treated at a certain level.
Well, we were getting less than. We were getting less than all the way around. And then they created Friends and gave them everything.
Mm-hmm.
And both shows were Warner Brothers shows on Warner Brothers lots.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so to watch that, to be on our lot and to watch that was really kind of a slap in the face.
Slap, slappity slap. Well, y'all see that, man. Y'all see how they be trying to keep the black people in a box, dance like monkeys. Give me some soft shoe. Do this. You got a job. Shut up. Shut up and act. All right. It's your boy Mullah. This week got that 5. We're going to be back with another one. Juneteenth coming up. Know your history, people. And I'm out of here.